a little bit and fill it as much and as many toppings as you want. Just go grab a cup and yeah, because that's how my kid does it. That's how my kid does it. He'll go in with the cup, fill 3/4 up with cookie dough, and then a squirt of vanilla, and he calls it good. You're right.
My kid likes that too, for the same reason. We don't go get frozen, we go get candy toppings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna happen when I have trouble with the mortgage company. Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, for Blackstone's? Yeah, that's been.
Do they get to stay the whole time? Because I know U of I says after you go to Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, no, once Thanksgiving break, then they stay home, they come home and stay home until after the next, till the next semester. So, and that was a change, like sometime in August, first school made that change.
I saw that U of I was saying that if you're in a dorm, they have like grab and go meals for you. And I'm like, dorm food's bad enough, but grab and go food.
I know, right? Come on,
They
they
still
still have
have
it.
it over the door when I was in college.
I know, that's what you get, yeah. They still have the 9 teachers that have their people in school, so they had 100 pieces this past week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the school? The school. Yeah, just the school.
I did
Faculty and students.
I did undergrad at ISU, and the food court was one of the defining reasons why I decided to become a Redbird, because
Yeah.
it was like they had Panda Express and
See, we didn't-
Sbarro's.
When I went to ISU, we didn't have all of that.
Yeah. And I was like, this is kind of nice, yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of Sbarro's pieces in the stadium on Thursday
yeah.
for, yeah.
Well, you're talking about at the student center, they had all that. Yeah,
Mhm.
they did have a lot of options there.
Yeah.
That's right. Not the same ones.
I grew up there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of Thursday night dollar well drinks, and then
It's 9 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Before we do the roll call, whenever you're ready, Carrie. Carrie? Have any masks for the people on the back row?
Yeah, I have some if you want them.
Yeah, I
I
think
got
that-
one if you want me to put it on. If I'm not talking, I don't need it.
I'll put it on, but I'd like to voice an objection. Since we got in here, there were 2 to 3 people without masks, and you got 2 up there right now wearing it, not covering their nose. So improper wear of a mask is no different than not wearing a mask. And if you're gonna require a mask, you should wear it when you come in the building, not put it on right before the meeting starts.
Okay, thank you.
And you still got people up there not properly wearing it. There's still one more.
Thank you, that's enough. We'll do the roll call, please.
Mr. Spencer,
Here.
Mr. Schumard,
Present.
Mr. Carroll,
Here.
Mr. Morrell,
Here.
Mr. Latz,
Here.
Mrs. French.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. We have some minutes from May 12th and March 5th. So I think you all received these on the email. I'll entertain a motion to approve the May 12th minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Renee makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Dale seconds it. Thank you. Any further discussion, additional corrections? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. March 5th minutes, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I'll make the motion to approve those minutes.
Okay, Randy makes the motion, thank you. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Shannon seconds it. Any further discussion, additional corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Sexual harassment training schedule. Linda, are you tell us about that, please?
It's a required training through the state of Illinois. We've set it up for September 16th. There'll be at least 3 times through the day. So we're going to do at least 2 or 3, we haven't set the times yet, 2 or 3 in person and then at least 1 Zoom.
Okay.
And it is required for all employees and elected officials.
Okay. September 16th.
Yes. We would like to possibly do a sign-up sheet. That way we make sure we have the room big enough for the number of people.
Okay. Any questions on that?
How long will that take, roughly?
An hour.
And, okay, you don't have the time set up yet?
No, there
Okay.
should be 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and then a Zoom one probably around noon, possibly a third one.
If we already have our certificate, do we still need to attend again?
Not if you've already done your certificate.
Eric, you have a question?
Are you going to email that sign-up sheet, or is the sign-up sheet going to be in your office, so we need to come to you, or how is
We'll
that?
email something out.
Okay.
Linda, are you holding on to the completion certificates at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Will we be able to get copies of those for personal records?
Yeah.
Is Donna Rogers conducting these sessions?
Yeah, Donna's gonna do it for this year.
Very good. Okay, we'll move on to the next item. EMA vehicle use and director residency. Board comments about that?
Yeah, I've had thoughts about that, with the vehicle staying in the county. If anybody else had any thoughts about that with, the EMA truck?
No, I had similar thoughts. And that's my understanding, the truck goes to meetings, various places, and I'm not sure it's all county related, I'm not sure. So I've had similar thoughts.
Mike, do you have any comment about what your thoughts would be on the truck staying at the office opposed to going home in the evenings?
To hinder my response for the job duties and the response
Responsible
duties that I have, response for, there's a list of things I need a response to that I'm paged out for. Not sure what the reference is for using it for anything other than county business, but we have MOUs with counties that surround us all over the place. We have meetings all over the place in Region 7. So I'm not sure what that's referring to. But other than that, it sits in my driveway.
Do you use it to go to meetings in association with your, whatever it is you do with the U of I?
Nothing's going on at the U of I. I was, and you were fully aware of that. I'm the lead evaluator for all of U of I's full-scale exercises, and that's part of it.
No, I'm talking about this response team. Terrorism Task Force.
No.
No what?
No, I have not responded in the truck to anything with the Department of Homeland Security or Terrorism Task Force.
And is that, did you get county approval to do that?
Yes, I did.
From whom?
It was one of you. I don't know if the sheriff signed it or you signed it.
It wasn't me, I never signed it. And according to the sheriff, he never signed it either.
I was a member of DHS, ITTF, IMT before I even took this job.
Well, I think it should have been disclosed when we took the job.
It was disclosed.
According to the sheriff, he knew nothing about it. So, I knew nothing about it.
Is the sheriff in here?
Nope.
Because he approved me going to a 2-week conference in Hilton Head Island for the IMT, my first year here, so I don't
He
see
did
how that
mention
should be.
that, but I don't know that he knew it was an ongoing responsibility that would take you out of the county.
I'm not sure what you want me to say, Chairman Spencer.
That's fine. Well, I think what we're talking about now is the vehicle remaining here overnight and
Yeah, I kind of see it as a two-way deal with, not having residents in the county. going back and forth out of county opposed to being in county. I've just had several thoughts go through about representing the taxpayers of the county, what the best option for that would be.
Are you talking about the fuel expense?
Well, it would be just mileage in general for expensive fuel or wear and tear mileage.
Well, I'm of the opinion it should stay at the office building, and then Mr. Holmes should drive his personal vehicle into the office building and then take the truck wherever he needs to go.
I believe you'll need to rewrite my SOPs then.
Well, I think this discussion's up here now. Other thoughts? Thoughts?
I have no thoughts.
Renee?
Nothing at this time.
Randy?
What is the policy with the county about personnel from other departments using vehicles to go outside of the county? And does anybody else have any type of policy in hand that we can adopt a policy about the vehicles, the county-owned vehicles? I could ask somebody from outside if they have a policy about the use of their or the county vehicles. Tony, do you have a policy about employees using the company vehicles?
I think that it's not comparing apples to apples here,
Okay.
because
Yes.
our vehicles that are purchased by the county stay on site and are only used within the context of our developmental services. And so points of origin start and end right there at the county. So there is no vehicle from my building that goes to a personal residence.
Okay.
I believe the highway department vehicle stays at the office building.
The county has a policy in their personnel manual that covers the use of county vehicles.
Is that in the handbook?
Yes.
Okay,
At page 26 or 16 is off the top of my head.
okay.
There is some vagueness. I remember when the policy was wrote, there was discussion then at the time. At the time, I did, this was prior to now, drive the vehicle home. Then the IRS thing came up about having to pay the $3 a day and that sort of thing. So this last week, I'll be honest with you, I did take it home because we've been working out at Allerton Park Road. I keep a schedule for the $3 a day thing. At the end of the year, we'll make it right. But I've been trying not to take it home just because the hassles that are involved with it. So,
Linda, what's the, with IRS and EMA, what's going on? Are we charged, is that being charged or assessed?
No, because I got a letter from the state attorney's office that it did not, that we didn't have to.
I personally have mixed emotions about the vehicles well too. Like I said, I'd like to see some clarification for the future that all departments live by the exact same rules. And like I said, that's here nor there. It's kind of something that is up for discussion right now, so.
Yeah, I'd educate myself on this policy that we're speaking of to,
It's vague at best, and I think it was done that way intentionally because the board's opinion when that policy was done was that, I'm not throwing you guys under the bus at all, but the premise of the board was that it was good to see sheriff's deputies out and about, you know, and if that meant them not accusing anybody of doing anything, you know, hey, I'm headed home, I'm gonna stop and get a thing of milk, I stop at the store. The county board at the time took that as a positive to have those vehicles out and about in those things. Right or wrong, that was a decision for the board to make. And that's why there's kind of, like I said, it's kind of vague at best. It refers to, I think, employees getting the permission of the department heads but I don't know if it actually covers the department head's use. So,
Well, I might ask the state's attorney what the exception to the IRS rules is.
Yeah, we did research on that, and if I recall correctly, it had to do with there were a couple of reasons. It had to do with the size of the EMA vehicle itself, because it is so large. And Mike, you could correct me if I'm wrong on that. And because, and it had signage on it. I think it had signage, like a magnetic decal.
I've never seen it.
I think that.
Because I don't
it had
have them
ordered
going
it.
down the road, they scratch the paint. So when I get on scene, I put them on the side of the truck.
It's like a removable magnetic sign, I think, from what I understand. So I think those were the reasons why the IRS issue was not a concern, so.
Anything else on this? Or?
No, I guess we just need to do a little more research.
I don't know what we're gonna find out any different.
And I can check into some other county personnel policies on county issued vehicles, that kind of thing, and bring some draft language for the board to consider, see what other counties do, just for you to consider.
That's okay. That satisfy you, Shannon?
Yeah, thank you, that'd be helpful.
Okay. All right, moving on, public comments. Hearing none, we do have a reason for, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I was here at the last meeting, the EMA meeting you guys had, and I made a comment that I appreciated the diligence of going through the claims that you did. I'm just curious as to, do you guys go through those kind of claims for every other department?
Is that your comment?
I'll take that as a no comment to the question. I think it's a pretty simple one. The reason I asked, your own claims, Chairman, had you used that same due diligence, would have identified the illegal payments that you were getting for meetings. I would just ask that you apply the same standard to yourself that you apply to your county employees. The other thing in regard to your policies, there was a mention of the sheriff's, what they can and can't do with their vehicles. This county board doesn't control what the sheriff does with his vehicles, just as future reference. If they make he makes a policy that they can use it as he deems fit, he controls the functions of his office. You have no say-so in that. I don't know if there's been indications to the contrary in the past, but he runs that department. He is an elected official, and the statute's pretty clear on what his duties are.
I apologize, I did not mean to infer that that's, I mean, I used that as probably a bad example, and I did not mean to infer that these guys were overstepping their bounds. That was
No,
my
not at
fault.
all. I'm just making sure that they know, because it's clear some of them don't have a clue what they're doing.
Okay, any other public comments? I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session for 5 ILCS 120/2, Section 2, subsection C, number 1, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of public body or legal counsel for the public body. So I entertain that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Shannon makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Randy seconds the motion. Any other discussion? Do a roll call, please.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Schumark,
Yes.
Mr. Morrell,
No.
Mrs. Front,
Yes.
Mr. Latz.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.